Welcome back to the Seattle Seahawks franchise. Today is the offseason, part one of this offseason. We will be doing a couple more parts. Russell Wilson is taking home the MVP of the league, along with Chuck Pagano taking home the Coach of the Year. Tyrod Taylor is the Offensive Player of the Year. What a year he had for the Cleveland Browns. They made it all the way to the AFC Championship game, which is very shocking, but they did indeed do that. We look at some rookies here as well. What I would like to talk about today is the Seattle Seahawks and how they played this season. They once again had another perfect season, making it to the Super Bowl and winning. It has definitely been a good couple of years, a good run last 3 years for the Seattle Seahawks, as they have been on fire, continuing their streak for several games. Now, I must say that indeed it is very bad of me for having such a kind of predictable, I guess what I'm trying to say is a predictable score, predictable game on what is going to happen to the outcome of the season. So I'm going to try for the next season to make it a little bit harder. I have started the next season and I'm already 8 games through it, and I must say it hasn't been too difficult. I did increase the sliders as well, but it has not been that difficult, and I'm not sure why. So basically from the 8th game on, I'm going to try and adjust the sliders as well to make it a little bit harder. But sometimes Madden 16, it's very difficult to win football games, and sometimes it's really easy. I just haven't really found that comfort zone of making it a close game. I've had close games all year round. But one thing I want to mention here is Russell Wilson wins Offensive Player of the Year, MVP, but doesn't win Best Quarterback. Doesn't really make sense to me in the ranking system. If you're going to win Best Quarterback, you might as well just win the best player in the game. Tyler Lockett taking home the Best Wide Receiver, along with Sheldon Parker taking home the Running Back of the Year. We've had some great players on our team, and we're going to try and continue to groom our players, but we're also going to lose some players in the offseason as well. And you will be seeing that in the next offseason part, as well as the draft and whatnot. So we still have one more offseason video to go until we make the next video, which will be the first game, which will be against the Dallas Cowboys. Best linebacker, nowhere is Bobby Wagner, but he wins Defensive Player of the Year. Not sure how that works either, but Richard Sherman taking home the best defensive back, and the best kicker in the league for the NFC is Steven Hauschka. He is definitely amazing. Now we look at some of the stats here for the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson continuing his success, throwing only 3 interceptions, but if I'm not mistaken, he threw 3 of those 3 interceptions in the postseason, and the very short 3 games that we played in the postseason. Definitely not the best postseason that he would have liked, but it ended in a ring, and at the end of the day, that is all that matters. So when we talk about the offseason, we have very little cap and room to work with. We don't have a lot of room to work with in the offseason, guys. We're going to lose some players that we really enjoy. As a Seattle Seahawks fan, there's a player who is a leader in one of these stats, not in the receiving, not in the, you'll see it. One of the players that is leading in a certain category will not be with us the next season. It's definitely tough to see the player go, and we're gonna have to adjust to that mentality come next season. And how we can adjust to it is gonna be shown by the draft, because we drafted someone that might be able to fill that void of the player that we are going to lose for this coming season. As you look at the solo tackles here, Bobby Wagner was definitely deserving of that Defensive Player of the Year. I basically played him all year long, so I think that Player of the Year award goes to me, because I was playing Bobby Wagner just about 180 of those tackles, if I'm not mistaken. More than likely. Michael Bennett, 12 sacks. What a tremendous season he had. Cliff Averill in the second place with 6.5. But not only for this year, we have a lot of players on contract coming up. We also have next year, I believe, Cliff Averill, Richard Sherman, KJ Wright, a bunch of players, even Earl Thomas are all off contract. It's going to be really hard to keep this core group of players together, but we're going to try our best to our ability to keep them together, because, like I said, it's going to be very hard to keep them together. But as we can see here, fumble yards, 65,535. I'm not really sure how Earl Thomas accumulated that with one fumble recovery, but man, that is truly amazing if you can get over 65,000 yards on one play. Truly amazing. Sarcasm, you can definitely see it. Anyways, Aaron Rodgers, what a terrific year, having the passing touchdown record tied. most passing yards in a season. Russell Wilson coming in second with 600 less yards, but his rushing stats kind of made up for those yards, and that is why he won the MVP. Gavin Gilbert, what a terrific year for him. He is definitely a good quarterback for that Arizona Cardinals team, but the group around him is definitely not the supporting cast that he needs to have some success, as they have been a mediocre team throughout this whole entire franchise, which I have no clue why, because they are one of the best teams in the NFL, a top 5 team in the NFL right now. It makes no sense to me why they are in the bottom 5 here in this franchise. Trey Mason, the most carries this year, but Sheldon Parker, what a terrific season, coming in after 2 weeks. I believe he didn't play the first 2 weeks at least much. It was mainly Marshawn Lynch, and then we traded him for a couple draft picks that we ended up using for our advantage, and you guys will be seeing Marshawn Lynch back in a Seattle Seahawks uniform next year as we are able to re-sign him off the free agency market. That's one spoiler that I wanted to give out to you guys, because it's going to be pretty cool to see Sheldon Parker and Marshawn Lynch working back together again. Yes, he has a little bit of cap room that we have to spend, but regardless, I'm glad to have him back and possibly retire as a Seattle Seahawk. He should be a good running back. No worries, Sheldon Parker will still be the starting running back. Tyler Lockett is top 10 in receiving yards all time, 17-14. What a terrific year for him. And look at that average yard of reception, 20.7. Phenomenal numbers from Tyler Lockett. The whole entire team of the Seattle Seahawks has been absolutely phenomenal. And next year, it should be even a greater season. Hopefully, we can have some more competitive games so you guys are definitely entertained and tuned in to watch them, because like I said, that's my main goal, is keeping you guys entertained. For the coming weeks, more than likely, I'm going to have MLB 16 the show, but I'm not too positive at this point. It's either a car or a PS4. I think the car is more important, definitely. So I'm going to try and hope we get a PS4 in the near future, and if so, I will be making MLB 16 the show videos. Seattle Mariners franchise will be coming soon, along with Road to the Show, which should be pretty cool to watch. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. This is the first part of the offseason, and I will be showing the retirements, certain signings for teams in the next episode. As you can see, to end out this video, the players of the week for each week. A lot of Seattle Seahawks will be showcased here in this, as the Seahawks dominated all season long, and they are once again Super Bowl champions. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a like, a comment, possibly subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.